I'm excited about this next panel.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about this next panel. No, this is great because they're new-ish, kind of, but like they're not new.
No.
They're new together.
Right.
Like this recipe is new.
Right.
But they're actually all buddies of ours.
It's a crossover. Two of them are from the supernatural world.
And one is from Walker. They're all buddies of ours, which is not really true. I don't think one of them really knows the band, and if he does know the band, I don't think he fully trusts them yet. You know what I mean? Like there's still bridges to cross with these three.
Well, we've hung out at another con. Well, we did.
You know how the band gets.
No, well, we're friendly with them.
Yeah, I'm not saying you. Like these guys. Oh, Johnny Pickpocket over there.
And
I don't know, man. A little squirrely going on there, really. I don't know what's going on.
And now they all work together on a new show.
Now they all work together. You know, you were just saying co-workers.
Yeah,
You said it.
Yeah.
You said it.
I did.
You looked over there. You said co-workers.
Look at those co-workers.
The bond that only comes from working together.
On a show that I'm not on.
That's a bond that only comes from being on a show that Rob is not on. If Rob's on a show, there's no camaraderie. But the second Rob's off that show, I'm telling you, people just snap together. Velcro, it's unbelievable. Well, let's get to it. Without further ado, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Keegan Allen, Jake Abel, and Mitch Pileggi.
I'm a cowboy. I'm still outside, and I want it. Dead or alive. Dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
So sick. The other thing I should have said that these guys have in common is that they're all fantastic gentlemen.
They're all
the sweetest.
class acts.
Class acts.
Well, thank you.
Good to finally have you back, Mitch. Mitch is a slippery salmon, man. You know, we had him years ago, then he slithered away. Now we got him back. Ah.
Hey, how y'all doing? What's going on?
Do we tell the story super quick, Rich?
What?
Do they tell the story super quick?
Should we tell the Mitch Rob story? Yeah, this is a Rob Mitch story.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Tell it?
This is a good story.
All right, so we were doing a con in Birmingham, and Rob was there. And
About 10 years ago.
First time I met him. What's that?
About 10 years ago.
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we were with him all weekend. My wife was with us, and we were with him all weekend. He was sitting at the table right next to me, Rob Bennett. So we get on the train to go back to London. Get on the plane to fly back to the States, and I get a text, or I get an email on my computer on my laptop, and I looked at it and it said, Rob Benedict. Rob's sitting right here. I turn to my wife and I go, honey, who the fuck is Rob Benedict? She looks at me, she goes, you're an idiot. And then I was like,
Because he gave me his email address, like, hey, let's keep in touch. Like, it's me, Rob Bennett. Who the fuck is Rob Bennett? I'm like, that'd be me, Mitch.
I'm the guy we're hearing 3C.
ladies and gentlemen, this is Rob fucking Bennett.
There it is.
Love you, man.
I love you too, brother. Okay, I'm sorry I took up. Wait.
That was worth
So how
it.
y'all doing? Y'all having fun? Good.
I see a good line starting over here, and I think we should get another. Oh, we got some people lined up. Okay. I panic if people don't line up.
Because we just usually have three idiots sitting up here saying nothing.
Yeah. Getting in trouble.
Have I got the best looking son in the world or what? Two of them. I got two of them. And I was telling Tom Welling, I said, well, thank God they made Samuel has finally got bigger, better looking, and younger.
We're so happy to be here. I love you guys.
We're so happy to be here. Should we take a question? Should we start taking questions?
Yeah, let's take a
Yeah,
question.
let's see what you all want.
You ask yours at the same time as you ask yours, and then we'll answer separately. We'll see how that
In
goes.
stereo.
Okay, you go first.
Hi guys, so good to see you. You all look great. You all are handsome.
Oh, you're sweet.
Yeah, we love all three of you. I mean, come on. The three of you have all worked with this wonderful human being named Jared Padalecki, I think. And just want to know if you each had your own stories you can tell, we all know Jared. He's Jared. So, what's your best Jared story?
I don't have any.
Well, I feel bad because I tell the same one. At this point, I'm just playing the hits. Back when season 4, Jared was the size of 3 men. He worked out way too much and ate way too much meat. Therefore, he smelled. He was very flatulent. And we were filming a diner scene, and he had me trapped in the booth, and he farted. And looked at me and goes, "I am Farticus!" And I could taste it. Taste his lunch. That's my story. Beat that.
Sticking to it. I guess I really love working with Jared because obviously he's an amazing actor.
Oh. They don't want to hear that.
I know, but this is where I'm gonna go with it. He has moments where he gets into where he wants to mess around and have fun. And it's always on my coverage. And he does this thing where we'll take photos of I'm sure you guys have seen it, where I tell you guys not to swipe. I mean, I say don't swipe. Like even in the last one, like this one. Can we zoom in? You know this one, right? Okay, that photo. Okay, so can you see it? Okay, so this photo right here. No, I'm just kidding. It's where you.
This is what I deal with all the time.
Okay, so if you just take your phone and you turn it upside down and you go like this, take a photo like this. Okay, so he has photos of himself and or me on the phone, and he'll make it the background on the phone, and he'll be like in the middle of the scene. Be like, Cassie just texted me. Captain James needs to see us. And he'll show me the photo like this, and then he won't break. He'll do it as serious as possible. So I say that's why I love Jared so much, because he's just he messes around all the time, makes it fun for us. He's also just a man's man. Hey guys, what's up? Keegan Allen. That's my Jared story.
Keegan Allen Walker.
Hey guys, what's up? Liam Walker.
It's so funny. Every time Keegan introduces himself to somebody, it's like, "Hi, I'm Keegan Allen Walker."
CW, Liam Walker.
Mitch, you better rip Jared apart.
On this, I can't. How can you? I can't. He's, actually, we just did a con in Rhode Island, and I made the mistake of saying to somebody, the day that I met Jared Padalecki was the best day of my life. Until I realized that I have a wife and daughter back home that may not appreciate that. So, but indeed it was, it was one of the most important days of my life. He's been so instrumental in being such a wonderful friend in my career, and with, the way he's the things he's done for my daughter, and I mean, you guys probably know this, but during the pandemic, or not the pandemic, during the big freeze in Texas, he took 15 people from the show into his house, 15 people and 5 dogs, and put us all up until we were able to go home, because he had power. Of course he had power, nobody else did. That's the life of Jared Padalecki. But he took us into his house, they fed us, we played games, we ate. I cooked for him, and we just had a great time. And he's one of the most amazing individuals. I'm sorry, I can't rip him. I'd like to, but he's just one of the most amazing individuals that I've ever met. And I realized that pretty much right away when I met Jared and Jensen during that first episode. I took Jensen aside and I said, I've got to commend both of you that you got your head screwed on so amazingly, and you comport yourselves in such an amazing manner. And then I realized they were both in Texas, and I got it. So there you go. And now we're back in Texas doing what what we love doing. We're having the best time of our lives working on that show. And the day that he called me up and said, "Would you come down and play my dad?" I said, "Where do you want me and when do you want me?" And I'm there. So, and I would do that for anything that he asked me to do.
Next caller.
Hey there, my name is Kat, and I just want you to know that all three of you are as amazing as Jared and Jensen in my book. But
Thank you.
My question, thank you. Yeah, you're great.
Thank you, Kat.
My question is for Mitch. He may remember
All right,
we
well,
had
fuck
a
off.
chat earlier today. No. It's because, well, you know, he's the man.
That's okay.
So my question is actually for my friend's husband who couldn't come with me, and my best friend, it's her husband, and he had a question. He's a big X-Files fan. So his question was, what was it like coming onto the X-Files show and working with David and Jillian?
Oh, I've never heard that question before. So. I'm sorry, I'm teasing. You know, it was working on the X-Files was huge in my life. You know, and working with it was really kind of cool watching David and Jillian from the beginning from the first season of the show. I only did one episode, I think, the first season. But just watching how they grew as people and as actors over the course of the series. I mean, now look at Jillian, and she's just like doing whatever she wants to do, and she's freaking amazing. You know, and David's working, you know, doing a lot of the stuff he wants to do. His music, he's really enjoying his music. But it was because I didn't know where I was going with that character, if I was even going to be, you know, if it was going to be instrumental going forward. And then when they called me back, Jillian fortunately got pregnant, and so they needed somebody to come in and kind of fill in, you know, when she was having her baby. So I was fortunate in that respect to be able to come on the show and start working on it as a regular basis, and it was amazing. It was amazing, it really was. And working with Chris Carter was just I still talk to Chris all the time, and you know, he gave me a pretty good job, and it was huge in my career. So I once again I owe him a lot too. So.
That theme song, nothing was scarier when I was a kid.
It's funny because when we went to do press junkets over in Europe, and it was like every venue that we went into, they were playing that song, and I love the song, and I love Mark Snow, but I got to the point where I was like, can I not play the song, or just play it for a few minutes and then turn it off?
Thank you, Kat. Thank you. And back down that one.
Hi guys. So my name's Hannah. I met you guys in Rhode Island and love you all. You're great. I just really wanted to say quickly that I love the direction that Walker's going this season. I know it's incredibly difficult subject to deal with, but I appreciate the different aspects and just seeing the way that different people deal with different mental health struggles. So thank you for that. So my question is kind of for Jake, but then for all of you.
That's a good order. Let's start there.
So Jake, I know that you did a audiobook, Midnight Sun.
Yep.
I did not know. I did not know that you did it until you posted about it on Twitter. So, is there any more? Is there any other? Oh gosh, sorry, I can't talk.
Are there any other audiobooks?
Is there any future plans to do another audiobook, or for Keegan and Mitch, is there any plans for you guys to do audiobooks or anything like that?
Hey, if you guys write a book, I'll totally narrate it for you. Totally do that for you.
I have a couple books that I could use you for.
Great, call me.
What's your best voices? Do 3 variations.
Hello. That's what we call range in the biz. And by biz is the business. Yeah. No plans to do more. Right after that one, Stephanie Meyer basically rewrote Twilight from Edward's perspective. And she asked me to play Edward. And no, I read the whole book. The whole book's 25 hours long, the finished product. It's insane. And right after that, I did another part in the book called None Shall Sleep, which was really cool. It's like Silence of the Lambs, but for YA, young adults. But I don't have any plans to do any more right now, but I definitely would, depending on the length of the book. Because it's a lot, and it's like, to do an audiobook, it's like, you start reading, you try this at home, start reading out loud, and if you mess up a word, go back to the beginning of that sentence, and start reading, and do that for 4 hours a day, every day for a week, and see if you can narrate audiobooks. It's a heft. But it was, I was touched that she gave me that she trusted me to do that, and it was a lot of fun, and it was the perfect COVID gig. I just would show up to this recording studio and go in my little booth, and my engineer would be in his booth, and we would just go. It was great. Yeah. I did like this too the whole time. Hello, I'm Edward Cullen, I am. It was a choice. Stephanie wanted it. It was a weird choice, but
I did an audiobook before too. Actually, really recently, for an amazing book called Mortal Enemy. And it has like Troyan Belisario did a voice in it, Chris Pine did a voice in it. And the way that they structured it was so interesting, because it is really tiresome. If you were the narrator, you have to, it's just like, and then he walked. And then he walked. And then he walked. You're like, oh God. And that's just like the first line. Then you have like 5,000 pages. But what they did was they broke it up and made it into a cast of voices, and then they orchestrated this whole, they had an orchestra do the score. So it's amazing, and it's free. I'm not trying to plug it, but it's an amazing book. It's an amazing book. It's written by Nicholas Ryan Howard. It's called Mortal Enemy, and there's a twist at the end that's very fun, and I know if you guys want to listen to it, it's free online. Highly suggest it. And it's really, that was cool. It was a cool experience. I know you did the whole book?
Every voice. Every single word in that book. And Stephanie...
That's good. Man.
Stephanie, she can write. She writes a lot of pages. A lot of pages. But yeah, it's a marathon.
It's a chore. I don't like it because it's a chore, and I did a couple of X-File ones, and it completely racked me trying to get Scully's essence. So I just couldn't, it's like trying to get get their personalities and their essence, into the stories. It was really traumatic, and I was like, I don't do this anymore. And it takes a long time. It's a lot of patience, and by the end of the day, your voice is just raw. So it's not one of my favorite things. So probably no for me.
That's a firm no from Mitch. Thank you, Hannah. Your name spelled backwards.
Thank you,
Hannah.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey. It was nice meeting you today, Keegan and Mitch. I met Jake before. I wanted to actually ask this question it's for Jake and Mitch about Keegan. If he was on,
Oh, I can't wait.
if he was on Supernatural like you guys were, what character would you want him to play?
Supernatural was the show that was on It was pretty successful.
Who was on there?
This guy, James and Jemsons. Pretty cool show. Sorry, what was the question? I started riffing.
You were the Adam, the brother, and
we know,
you
we
were
know.
Samuel, the grandpa. So what would Keegan be? Would he be in your family? Would he be an angel, a demon? What would he be?
I would
Really
not
taking
make
this
him a
seriously.
Campbell. I definitely would make him a Campbell because I think y'all had enough of the Campbells, right? So that's what I wouldn't make him. I couldn't answer that question other than that, though. I don't know. You know the characters.
I think I'm taking this very seriously. You can feel the heat, can't you? I'm really taking
A little bit,
it.
yeah.
I see you in like some sort of suit, like you're some sort of like servant from hell, but like a handsome, charming servant from hell. And the boys have a complicated relationship with you because like you do bad things, but like
You mean Crowley?
you believe in them.
Crowley?
Yeah.
Crowley.
Yeah.
That's my answer,
Am I
Crowley.
just describing Crowley? It's Mark Shepard's character.
Yeah, Mark's gonna appreciate
He's
that.
gonna really love it. Oh, great, Jake, write me out of the show. I've already filmed it. But I take nothing back. I think, I think you work adjacent to Crowley. I think that fits. And a smattering of applause. Thank you. Hello, Deb.
Hey gentlemen, Jake, I want to let you know, if you talk to DJ this weekend, he'll complain about the yard sale where they sold all of the Supernatural wardrobe. My buddy has your coat, and he's going to have you sign it tonight.
Get out, really?
Yeah, you'll see him. You'll see him.
Cool.
But I want to ask you...
Wait. Why was DJ... I mean, DJ complains, but why was he complaining about this?
Because they didn't tell him that he wanted his coat, and they didn't tell him that
he
they
wanted a
sold
chance
it.
at auction. He didn't get it. He loves an auction as well.
Anyways, what's your favorite item that each of you have been able to take from a set or something that you absconded with that you shouldn't have taken that you feel comfortable sharing with us?
I never take anything from set, ever.
Especially not that.
One thing.
One thing, remember that thing.
I actually don't take a lot. I should take more, and I'll start now. Take more. But I have one of for the first Percy Jackson movies, we had like all this leather armor that was made custom for us. So I couldn't steal that because it was too obvious. But there was a belt, this leather belt that went with my armor. And so I took that and like my mom shadow framed it and like had it in her house. And I just got it back. So I'm gonna put it in my kid's room. And then also on the sequel to that, we're doing a lot of stunt work, wire work. And have you guys ever worn like the full harnesses? Like the full body, it's like bondage. I mean, they're kind of beautiful, but they're really expensive. They're all custom made. And I went back to my trailer on the last day of filming and it was still in there. And I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna take that. And now I have it. I have it at home. These things are beautiful.
He wears it all the time.
Like you step into it, so you really cinch them down into your legs like this.
Sometimes he shows up to work with nothing on
Just
beside.
that. It's an outfit. I'm covered. Mostly. So yeah.
I took Skinner had a brass bulldog on his desk. It's on my desk.
I only took something. Wait. I've taken things. But I got caught one time, and it stopped me from ever taking things again. And it was in a really embarrassing way. There was in Pretty Little Liars. There was oh my God, no one's recording this, right?
No one.
Nope.
Ignore that light.
Sweating.
Ignore that light.
I'll just tell it because it'll get off my chest. It's like therapy. There was a Rolleiflex camera that was on the shelf in Jenna's room. Did anyone watch Pretty Little Liars? Okay. So there was this girl named Jenna, played by Tammin Sarasaki, if you haven't watched the show, and it's like, the background pieces. And there's this beautiful Rolleiflex film camera where you look into the thing and you put the film in and it's cool. And I was really into photography, so I took it. I stole it. Stole it off the set. I didn't tell the prop master. I didn't ask anybody. I just took it. And in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna use the camera so it'll be all right and I'll bring it back. Like, no one will notice because it's like just something in the background. So I take it and I go and I'm like, and I'm taking photos with it and I'm like enjoying it and all this. There's a couple days go by. And we come back to set and the prop master's like, oh God, have you ever seen a camera on this? It's small. And I'm like, he's not talking about and and he's like looking for this camera and I'm like, oh, it's, I don't know. And he's like, did you see a little camera like this big? And I'm like, no, I don't know anything about it. And I'm like, because it's at my house. What am I going to say? Like, yeah, I know where it is. It's at my house. Let me go get it. So he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go get another one from the prop department. And that made me feel better because I was like, all right, whatever. You guys got a lot of those. Well, they didn't have any more of them. And I went to go get my film developed. And when I opened the back part of the camera, it said property of Warner Brothers. And it had a serial number. And they were able to track it. So, that was the last time I ever took anything, and I went back to the prop department and I begged them for forgiveness. I learned my lesson. Never steal anything ever, especially not harnesses that have serial numbers on them.
Hey man, it's been years and nobody coming knocking on my door.
He's all like,
That's my harness now. To do with whatever I want. With whomever I want. However I want.
Yikes.
Whenever I want.
Hi, my question's for Mitch. What is your favorite memorable moment on Sons of Anarchy?
Gosh, between doing the meth and doing the pimping out, it's like, okay, this cat was a white supremacist, meth dealing, cooking pimp. Charming. Very charming. I think one of my favorite moments for Darby was a turn that he made when he was talking to the old man, the old Jewish man who had been at a concentration camp, and he had the number on his arm, and this guy had been his boxing coach when he was younger, and I think that was the point that Darby turned and decided that he didn't want to be the man that he had been for so long, and I love the fact that at the end of the show, actually Darby's one of the few people still alive from that. The fact that they had him end up marrying a Latina girl. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. And that was like one of the last scenes I had. I said to Kurt, I said, "Can I speak Spanish to these people?" And he said, "Yeah." I don't think it made it on film, but it was yeah. That's it. You bet.
Hello.
Hello. My question is for you, Jake.
See, I don't have glasses on. I could see that picture from all the way up here. That's me pinching my nipples, everyone.
Last year was very cold. How are you finding the temperature, and how are your nipples?
I think they might have got the memo this year. My nipples are perfectly soft. Which is what you want out of them from your day-to-day. Okay, so here's the thing. I feel like we need to unpack this a little. Last year, and for you guys who might not know, it was very cold in the auditorium to the point where my nipples were just there. Couldn't miss them. I was backstage with Gabe. I was like, "Gabe, look at my nipples." He was like, "I don't know. I don't need to see it." I was like, "I don't even need to show you. They're there." And I feel like we should cover this. So I came out on stage and I was trying to make everyone in the audience whose nipples also may or may not be hard feel secure in that moment. So I came out and let everybody know that you're not alone.
It's a hard nipple game.
I too am nipped out. And then Gabe interviewed one of them, and Samantha gave one of them a voice. And that's when Jake's panel started getting a little horny. So buckle up, boys. It's reverse Jake time.
Keegan, I don't think I want to do a panel with Jake anymore.
Hey man, take it up with management. Do your nipples get hard?
My nipples are too old to get hard anymore. They're 71 and they're saying, "Leave me the fuck alone."
I knew we'd get this panel right on track. Never answered the question though, Keegan. You know everyone's looking at your nipples right now. That's the best part of this. Oh my God, goodness. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
This question is for Mitch. I was wondering if you have any good set memories from Stargate SG-1.
What haven't you been on?
I've been a lucky boy, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I think having Jason Momoa throw me up against the wall and then throw me across the table was pretty spectacular. Now, it was crazy. Working with Jason was crazy on that because he's such a big man, and it's like he was ragdolling me like nobody's business. I was like, I'm a big boy and I'm pretty strong myself, but he was just beating me to a pulp, and it was That's not my favorite moment, but it just kind of popped in my head. You know, I really liked sitting in my commander's chair, getting my Captain Kirk on. It was kind of fun. Yeah, it was funny because one time we were shooting a scene and I was in my chair and I crossed my legs like this, and the director says, you know, I don't know if he do that. And I said, well, it worked okay for Bill Shatner, so I was like, I think I'm going to do it. But anyway, yeah, I had a lot of good times. It was being on the bridge of the ship was the most fun, I think. You bet.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Mary. Nice to meet you guys. And I actually met Jake back in Phoenix in November.
Hell yeah, you did.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mary.
Okay, well, my question is that today is my last day here in Vegas. So what's like your recommendation or your favorite place to go to? Excluding the Lotus Casino from the Percy Jackson movie. We don't want to stay there. Yeah.
Vegas recommendation.
Gambling.
Just gambling. You heard it from Keegan.
No, I don't.
Yeah, go to gambling.
Just go.
It's really great.
Go to the gambling thing.
I saw earlier today a pancake the size of a pizza.
Yep.
You could do that. It was a sight to see. It was a pancake as large as a pizza.
I saw an ad that you can go ziplining from a helicopter and shoot and like fire a flamethrower on it. Yeah, it's outside of this. Yeah, I swear I saw that.
So you go to Craigslist. There's this guy, Hank. He'll hook you up.
Well, it had like different things you could shoot, where you had like flamethrowers. That was the one that stuck in my head the most because it was so arresting. Seeing a guy on a zip line with a flamethrower.
Oh, a zip line?
Yeah, and it's like, you could do this today. And I was like, wow, because it feels like it'd take days of preparation to qualify for all of those things, but it's all at once and today. Don't do that. Don't do any of that. I'm just being funny. But I actually did see that. Like, I'm not being funny about actually seeing that. I actually saw that, but don't do that. If it is true, maybe just go look at the picture of it on the strip. It's just like it's an ad. There's an advertisement on the strip of this, and don't call the number. That's
Every day I deal with this. Every day. I don't know Vegas well enough to give you any place. I ate at Mesa Grill one time at Caesars and it was really good. So Bobby Flay's place. But anyway, that's all I got.
Oh,
have fun your last day.
Oh, you have something? You have something else?
It's not. Where are you? Where are we right now? How far away are we? You know what? Actually, never mind.
Every day.
Are your nipples sweating?
A little bit, yeah.
That'll happen. You get the nervous nipple sweats. I've seen it. I see it every day. Every day. See, this shit's normal for me. Like, I'm usually here by myself, fucking making a mess of things. So I'm sorry to drag you guys down. Did we answer your question? Thank you.
Wherever you go, have a great time.
Yeah, enjoy yourself.
Hi guys.
Hi.
So Keegan, I just want to say I loved you in Pretty Little Liars. You were my favorite.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
But my question is for Jake. I swear I love you.
I feel like it's consistently like I'm just here and they're like, Keegan, hi. Anyway, so
Keegan, could you move?
Can the bald guy in the end kind of move down a little bit?
I mean, I gotta try to shoot my shot, right?
Go for it.
You didn't miss. You did not miss. What's up? Let's talk.
So since the filming for the new Percy Jackson series has begun, have they asked you to be a part of it, and would you go back and be Hermes?
They have not, and they hired some guy named Lin-Manuel Miranda? So I don't think it's in the cards for me. I think it's great. I hope the show's everything that Rick Riordan wanted the movies to be, but apparently weren't. So I don't think there's an appetite to have anyone involved in the movies and the TV show, unfortunately, because I would have loved to have played Hermes. That would have been a lot of fun. But this Lynn guy should do a good job, I guess. But yeah, I don't think there's any plans to. But I definitely would have. I think that would have been a lot of fun. I should have written more Broadway shows. That was on me. That was my fault. Did I answer your question? Okay, thank you.
You know, Jake and I did a movie together.
We did. It was about
windshield wipers.
Windshield wipers. Sounds riveting, right? But check this out. Your windshield wipers don't just do this, right? They have different settings, right? Intermittent. We made a movie about that.
About intermittent windshield wipers, a full-length movie.
So what's actually funny is we haven't seen each other since then, and it was a number of years ago. And so when I signed on for Walker, we do virtual table reads for every episode. We all get on Zoom and read the episodes together. And I knew he was on the show, and so I was excited. Like, you never know if people are going to remember you. I don't know if you guys are like this, but sometimes I just assume that I thought the boys forgot me when I was gone for a number of years. I was like, came to a convention, I was like, I hope they remember me. And Jared picked me up, and I was like, I guess they remember me. So I was so excited to see you. And we got on the Zoom, everyone's talking, and Mitch just goes, Jake, we did the windshield wiper movie together! And it made me feel so good that you did that. Because I was like, how am I gonna slip this in? Like, hey Mitch, remember me? It made me so happy.
Oh, absolutely. When I saw your name, I was like, hey, windshield wiper guy.
There we go.
I never heard of that movie.
It's called Flash of Genius.
Flash of Genius.
Greg Kinnear.
Greg Kinnear. And a bunch of other people.
Yeah, and Mitch Pileggi and Jake Abel. No nipples were harmed in the filming of that movie. Where are we?
Which side are we? We're with you.
Thank you, whoever you are. Hi.
Hi, my name's Sonia.
Hi,
How are you
Sonia.
guys?
Good, how are you?
My question's for Jake. A lot of people learned hobbies during COVID, and I was wondering what you thought Adam would have picked up during his isolation.
Well, we all know he wasn't alone in isolation. Adam, my character, was stuck in hell with Michael the Archangel. And Michael was inside Adam.
I've heard that.
Inside his body.
How did he
enter him?
Get into him?
Well, the first time without consent. I think that was for sure. But then eventually consent happened, and it was fine. Oh God, backpedaling.
I'm not saying anything, so.
So I think that I always say that they kind of had an odd couple situation. Where like, Michael was like the neat and tidy curmudgeon one, and Adam was like the freewheeling guy who goofed around. And so I think he took up baking, like I did. and he just fed his friend Michael. Oh boy. Yeah, baking.
Good answer, huh?
Thanks for coming.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I'm from the generation where we rarely saw Walker, Texas Ranger with Chuck Norris, and now you have Walker, and they're definitely two different series, but based on the same principle. I just want to know, what is your favorite episode, and do you see, I know y'all will come to legend like they did, like Chuck Norris did in that show, but I just want to know, do you see anything going in that direction, such as...
More roundhouse kicks? There should be more roundhouse kicks, right?
Nope. Not by me. I ain't doing it.
I can't touch my toes.
I actually did the original Walker, Texas Ranger. I did an episode of it.
Of course you did.
And I was really excited because my character was supposed to fight Chuck Norris, was supposed to fight Walker. Well, I ended up fighting his nephew. instead, because he was at the point where he just wasn't doing the fights anymore. But you know, it is a different show. It's a very different show, but I really like what we're doing compared to what was going on, you know, with that. I like, you know, of course, personally, I love the fact that they've brought, you know, the family, put a light on the family, his family, and because it gives me a job. And I get to hang out with Jared and Keegan and this knucklehead over here. So, but you know, my favorite moments with, you know, we've got a wonderful cast. I work with this woman named Molly Hagan. Right? And I adore her, and it's like I'm the luckiest man in the business to be able to stand across from her and to be able to work with her, because she gives me so much and she makes me such a better actor, as do they. But it's this. I've been doing this for over 40 years. This is the best job I've ever had. Love you too.
Wow, that was a moment. And now we're going to rip you off the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause, Mr. Jake Abel, Keegan, and Mitch Pileggi.
Thank you all very much. I'll stay on my side, and I want it.
What?
Dead or alive.
What?
Dead or alive.
What am I going to
Dead or alive.
So you're saying...
So there are two. You can be either dead,
right,
or alive.
Okay, so...
It's pretty black and white.
Up to me, huh?
It's one of those two.
Listen, nothing's gonna happen, not a damn thing's gonna happen until Rob Benedict and this musical ensemble get this crowd going. So boy, I hand it off to you. Do it.
You guys